Item: SCP-1450. Code name: Iridescence. Object Class: Safe. Special Containment Procedures: SCP-1450 is to be kept in a hermetically sealed concrete chamber measuring 5 meters in height, width, and length, to prevent propagation. SCP-1450 is to be monitored by monochrome closed-circuit security camera. In the event of the camera being blocked by a section of SCP-1450, a team in full biological contaminant protection gear with EKG monitoring should be sent in to clear the lens. Sections of SCP-1450 acting outside of normal parameters, or missing from their positions, should be reported immediately. Colonies of SCP-1450 found outside of containment are to be immediately purged, with either fire or pesticides based on location and quantity of SCP-1450, and their locations to be noted and passed to Research Team SCP-1450 Gamma. Description: SCP-1450 is a colony of insects of unknown order, family, genus and species. SCP-1450 comprises a head, possessing antennae, compound eyes, and a series of serrated mandibles, a thorax, with legs attached to the meso, pro, and metathorax, an abdomen with a set of hermaphroditic genitalia, and chromatophoric plating attached to the thorax. SCP-1450 uses its chromatic plating to effect a form of metachrosis in urban environments. Specifically, SCP-1450 colonies tend to mimic dried paint applied on walls. Colonies of SCP-1450 are commonly found to have replaced the paint in abandoned buildings, entering a form of hibernation. It is theorized that their tendency to nest together, as well as the excretion of an insulating form of latex-based fecal matter, allows them to survive in colder temperatures that would normally kill insect life. This latex nesting material has been found to be the remnants of devoured paint, digested and excreted. SCP-1450 possesses an adaptive hunting pattern, which uses the chromatophoric plating on its back. SCP-1450 will wait until its prey has taken up residence in SCP-1450's nest, then begin to slowly shift their color patterns. Once the prey has begun to examine SCP-1450, the patterns are shifted to a hypnotic, dazzling display which stuns SCP-1450's prey, leaving it helpless as the colony descends to consume it. The speed of SCP-1450's consumption varies, based on the size of the colony and the prey. As seen in Test SCP-1450 Kepler-1, SCP-1450 possesses a voracious appetite, and is capable of devouring every trace of digestible material present. A final quality of note in SCP-1450 is the tendency of colonies to expand based on the size of their nest. Examples of SCP-1450 colonies found in the wild are rarely found to inhabit more than one room of any given building, but the size of the room in question can vary greatly. In the case of report, the colony present in had grown to fill an entire warehouse. Addendum. Test log SCP-1450 Kepler-1. A D-class test subject was sent into SCP-1450's holding cell, with instructions to wait for 20 minutes. Minutes 15. D-class subject does nothing. SCP-1450 displays no reaction. Minutes 57. D-class subject paces about the room. SCP-1450 slowly begins to shift in hue. Minute 7. D-class subject goes to examine nearest portion of SCP-1450. From here, all notations made are based off of studied recordings, as the observation group recalls nothing after minute 7. Analysis shows observation group was affected in the same manner as D-class test subject. Minutes 8:13. D-class subject examines SCP-1450. SCP-1450 responds by shifting its chromatophores to stun D-class subject. The examined portion of SCP-1450 holds this color pattern, while the rest of the colony disengages from its nest to begin climbing D-class subject. Subject appears unaware of presence of SCP-1450 on his body. Minutes 13:20. D-class subject becomes aware of SCP-1450, and begins striking at the nearest members of SCP-1450 with his hands. SCP-1450 immediately responds by biting into his legs. Subject is immobilized by pain and collapses. SCP-1450 finishes swarming over his form, and proceeds to consume all material present, excluding subject's bones. SCP-1450 returns to original position and hue.